Now it definitely looks much brighter as when I came last time in December. So today until Saturday, which yeah, it's probably when I'm uploading this video, but anyway, I'm in Umeå, which is a city like a little bit up north of Sweden, which is like in between Stockholm and like the really north of Sweden, like Kiruna and Luleå and stuff, like those cities over there. You can check that out on this map because probably you don't know those cities. So I'm like in this city called Umeå in a business trip. But the idea of this video is not actually where I'm right now in this city in Sweden. It's about how people meet other people in Sweden. How if you move to a Nordic country, you know, these countries up north in Europe, which people tend to be a little bit colder and a little bit more reserved and shy, how people actually meet people in these countries. Which are like the environments, the perfect environments, either like it's online or face to face, that people meet other people. So yeah, let's start with that. The first one, when it comes to online dating, right now it's quite trendy and popular to use Hinge. Hinge is an application, like obviously it's like from the US, but it's an application that is more like personalized when it comes to dating. And most of the people that are in this application, they are between 23 and up. So if you're like in your late 20s, you are like even older, either if you're a girl or a guy, it doesn't really matter in that situation. But like it's much better to use this application because of the fact that people are more like fixed or like down to earth when it comes to what do they really want or like what are they looking for. While now Tinder, at least in Sweden, so probably also in Norway and Denmark or Finland, this application became a little bit more like for younger guys that do not really want to like settle down and they just want to fuck around and increase the body counts up to a level that wherever. Don't really know the reason of why doing that, but people use these applications for that purpose. I don't know actually about Bumble, to be honest. Probably it's kind of similar to more like Hinge, but not like Tinder, so I would say it's like in between, or like what people use in this country at least. But it is true that since it's also an application where it's women, the ones that select and like choose the guys that they want to, like they are the ones matching, and they kind of decide if they want to match with that guy or not, so they have like more the power in that application. I don't know if it's really like trendy and a lot of guys want to use it, or same with girls, or also when it comes to girls as having the decision or like the power of deciding either to match or not. So definitely if you're looking for something more stable and down to earth, I would recommend to use Hinge right now because it gives you more personalization and what do you really want, and it's much easier to connect with the other people and to establish a conversation, a normal conversation, and not just to fuck around. But when it comes to face-to-face, people in Sweden, and this hasn't actually changed for the last month and years, is that people normally tend to meet other people on like in work environments or like in a common sport or a common activity. They just like meet and they start hanging out, but not with like a rush of like starting a relationship after 1, 2, 3 months. I mean, obviously there's like super exceptional cases which I've seen, but it's normally not like that. People tend to take it much more slower and easier when it comes to that. But definitely meeting in school and at work is the most common way of talking and like to meet other people in Sweden. So actually these like videos that you can see from the US or from other parts of the world where you can like meet random people on the streets or like supermarkets or like wherever, other situations like in the underground, it does not really work in the long term whenever you meet someone in Sweden or in another country in the north of Europe. Because people here tend to see this as a really straightforward and like direct approach, which is kind of nice, but at the same time they don't really Swedes or like Nordic people, they don't really like that and enjoy that. Obviously you need to be direct when it comes to your intentions, but not too direct, because then you kind of feel that you're desperate or you just want to fuck with that person. So with Nordic people you should take it much slower and much chill and not rush things up. While in the south of Europe or in the US or even in South America, taking this approach of like talking on the street or like in the beach and stuff like that, it's seen as really normal, and from that a relationship can occur. And obviously I've seen Nordic people living in Spain, for example, being approached by Spanish guys or by other people from South America, for example, being approached like in a supermarket or like in the beach, for example. And this actually works. But again, the Nordic person is not in Sweden, it's not in the Nordic countries outside. So it's much easier for them to be like that all people can talk to them and do an approach, because they are not in the kind of like normal or expected environment of living in the city where they've been born and raised, or in the country where they have been living for all their lives. In this case, Sweden or Norway or Denmark, for example. So yeah, that's pretty much it on this video. I want to talk about this feeling. It's quite important, and you might find it important in case you're moving to a Nordic country. So yeah, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe here to Freely Talking, and I'm here for my last upload on the channel, which I think it was last week when I was still in Stockholm. But I like to record whenever I'm outside of Stockholm and like traveling. It feels better, I don't know. Stay around and stay always friendly.